To get my mic onto there because the wireless does not work.
You can just say hi everyone. We're getting started, and we can.
Okay. Good morning, everybody, and welcome for joining us. We're about to get started. Is everybody all set? Good morning, and thank you for being here. My name is Jennifer Tuxell. I'm a Michigan parent of 2 teenage sons and a parent advocate for the Michigan Parent Alliance for Safe Schools. We are the lead organizer of the Michigan Kids Code Coalition, a broad coalition that includes the MEA, the Michigan PTA, the Michigan Center for Youth Justice, and the Michigan League for Public Policy, as well as UNSPAN. We are all united around one shared goal: protecting children online. We are grateful to Senators Camilleri, Polanyi, Chang, and Hertel for sponsoring the Kids Over Clicks legislation and for recognizing the urgency of this issue. Beside me is a visual representation of what many Michigan families are experiencing: big tech's real terms of service for our children, profit over well-being, addiction over safety, and data collection over protection. Families across Michigan are asking for one simple principle: when it comes to children, safety must be built in by design. Parents are not anti-technology, but we are tired of competing with big tech platforms like TikTok, Snapchat, and Instagram. Platforms intentionally engineered to be addictive, designed to maximize engagement and profit by keeping kids hooked and collecting their data. We can lose our children's attention. We can lose their sleep. We can lose their confidence to algorithm-driven pressure. And some families, devastatingly, lose far more. In every other consumer market involving children, we require safety standards. Kids Over Clicks applies that same expectation to the digital marketplace, because children are not products and their attention is not inventory. Michigan can lead by making it clear that children's safety comes before big tech profit. We're grateful to Senators Camilleri, Polanyi, Chang, and Hertel for sponsoring this legislation and for their continued leadership on this issue. Today, we'll begin by hearing from the voices most directly impacted. Some families carry unimaginable loss as a result of the harms we're talking about today. Please join me in welcoming Sheree Gadd, mother of London, Forever 12.
Hi, my name is Sheree Gadd. I am London Gadd's mom. I'm here to protect our children. These platforms are addictive, and these addictions are causing severe harm. I lost my daughter to suicide because of these addictions. My daughter would search benign subjects like alligator skin boots, and these platforms would send her self-harm content and suicidal content, which is not okay. They're harming our children, and this is all by design, and they know what they're doing. There's been documents showing that they're referring to our children as herd animals, and that our children are so addictive that it's like they're drug pushers. It just needs to stop. We all need to stand together and protect our children and stop these companies from causing harm and ultimately sometimes death.
Thank you, Sheree. To help us understand the very real mental health impacts we are seeing in young people, We are joined by clinical psychologist, Dr. Julie Brakaziski.
Hi, I'm Dr. Julie Brakaziski. I'm a licensed clinical psychologist in the state of Michigan. I'm also the clinical director of Monarch Behavioral Health. I'm an expert in neurodevelopment as well as child mental health. And I'm a mom of 2 girls moving through adolescence. Now, when I'm out in the community or in our clinic, parents are coming to me. Parents, teachers, caregivers, grandparents clamoring, absolutely clamoring for strategies to keep their kids safe. And parents are doing everything they possibly can. But parent strategies that we have now are like sandbags in the face of a tsunami. Because the very tenets of neurodevelopment, the way that our brains develop as humans, puts us in a very vulnerable position to experience social media and the addictive qualities that there are designed in social media propagation and delivery, as well as in AI. And so every day at the clinic, we are seeing this play out. And our experience maps onto that of research that increased use of social media increases anxiety and depression, and some terrifying outcomes. Sexploitation, kiddos getting pushed content and information they did not ask for, they do not want. And it can lead to devastating outcomes, like we just talked about. Absolutely devastating. And so this package of bills helps to protect kids, put much more power into parents' hands and control, and puts in language and definitions to hold technology companies accountable for the dangerous effects of social media and AI.
Thank you, Dr. Brakaziski. And importantly, young people deserve a voice in this conversation. Their experiences are at the center of why we are here. Please welcome Noah Prabhakar.
Good morning. My name is Noah Prabhakar. I'm here today to express my overwhelming support for Senate Bill 757 through 760. Social media has provided some real benefits for young people in our society in terms of creativity and connectivity. However, those benefits are overwhelmingly overshadowed by the harm caused by practices of large tech companies that take advantage of users, especially younger people. In my personal experience, I've seen my sister and other young cousins repeatedly exposed to ads, notifications, and content designed to keep them on these apps, and spend time on them longer. These systems encourage increased usage in order to boost advertising revenue for these companies, while often promoting posts and ads that can have a deeply negative impact on young people's mental health. Without stronger safeguards, young people will continue to face increased risks, including exposure to content that can contribute to anxiety, depression, and self-harm. Mandating stronger safety settings and requiring parental consent for addictive feeds is the least we can do to ensure that young people grow up without being exploited by tech companies going forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Noah. Both Noah and Macy Wheelock are with the Michigan Student Turnout Project. Please.
Hello, my name is Macy Wheelock, and I am here to express my strong support for the Kids Over Clicks bill package that is being proposed. Predatory behaviors don't always start the way that we think they do. They aren't always a 40-year-old trying to follow a child or a minor online. A lot of times they can start with smaller age gaps. You'll see maybe it's a 14-year-old freshman in high school and that senior in their art class who's 19. A lot of these young kids wouldn't think anything of it, and if they get that friend request from that older kid in class, they would think it's okay, and they would then go and begin these conversations that can often shift from friendly to flirtatious until it gets to a point where it's requests for explicit content and nude photos are often exchanged. This is where we see a lot of sexploitation occurring, is going to be more common in these high school age groups and even into middle school. We see kids who are just trying to get that person to like them back, and thinking that they're doing the right thing. And so we're allowing these adults to take advantage of these kids. And that's where we do see a lot of issues coming from. Sexploitation is hard to detect, but it is our responsibility to make sure that adults cannot friend minors online, and to make sure that parents can help protect their children as well as they can. Thank you.
Thank you, Macy. Stephanie Icobon is with the Young People's Alliance. Stephanie.
Good morning, everybody. My name's Stephanie Ekbon. I'm with the Young People's Alliance. I'm here today as well as a sister who's seen firsthand how these digital platforms impact children. I grew up in the digital world we're discussing today. My generation didn't just download social media, we grew up inside of it. Today, many platforms used by minors are designed around one goal, maximizing engagement. Algorithms study what young people click, what keeps us scrolling, what makes us emotional, then they amplify it. That's not accidental, that's done by design. When these systems feel anxiety, addictive use, and AI-driven manipulation, young people and children feel the consequences first. That's why the bills today matter. The Safe for Kids Act, Kids Code Act, and Lead for Kids Act set real standards to protect children online. We're not asking for them to be completely shielded from the internet or blocked. We're asking for the platforms to be designed with their safety in mind. Children are not data, they're not engagement statistics, they're the next generation of Michigan. They're the most vulnerable. They deserve to be protected, and big tech deserves to be held accountable. We're here today in support of choosing kids over clicks. Thank you.
Thank you, Stephanie. Thank you to all of our speakers. No parent sitting at their kitchen table while their child holds a device should have to wonder whether what's on that screen was intentionally engineered to override the child's developing brain for profit. That is why we are here. And thank you for being here. This conversation continues at the Senate committee hearing beginning at 12:30 p.m. in the Binsfield 1200 on the ground floor of the Senate office building. We hope you'll all join us.
Thank you so much for coming. I think if you want to do poolside interviews with anyone, feel free to ask. We've got a lot of advocates here who would love to share their stories. So folks, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
Okay, very cool. Are you maybe interested in the bridge Michigan?
Is there something specific you want to speak to? Or?
Talk about sort of, I know that there's this.
And who did you want to start with our programming?
I know that there's also extras.